Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 21st of June 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for the evening. Today we got two stories for you guys. First, we're going to take a look at spyware in your games. And secondly, we're going to take a look at a new doll being produced in America, which has some gamer features. But let's begin with the big story of today, which is about spyware in your own games. More specifically, this is, I think a better way than calling it totally spyware is, it's a tracker. And that maybe even sounds worse when I'm saying it aloud. So this is a ad campaign tracker called Red Shell. And its purpose is to track your behavior outside of the games. So the developers and publishers and everyone else can figure out what exactly are you doing in your spare time, what do you do before you play your games, if you visit sites like Facebook, and what sort of advertisements should they push so they can sell their games and microtransactions in your games. And this, I really don't know what better to call it than spyware, has been found in many games, including some big-ass titles. And I mean like really big, like The Elder Scrolls Online, Conan Exiles, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Ballarat, Magic the Gathering Arena, yes, the one that is currently in closed beta, Ballistic Overkill, Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. That's a game I myself reviewed and I'm now pissed about it. And at least these are games that have removed the spyware already or pledged to remove it. So that's at least a good thing. But there are other games, including big titles, which we have no reports whether they will be removing the spyware, like Civilization 6, Kerbal Space Program, Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. And the list just goes on and on and on. This is just terrifying. And we as consumers and as gamers should rise up and make a social media campaign telling the developers and publishers of these games that we will not stand for this. This is a horrible misuse of a consumer slash publisher developer trust. It's just awful. If you want to find out whether you personally have been infected or you encountered this spyware in your computer, you can do this fairly simply. You can go to the games folders and try to search for a few specific DLL files. They're usually called redshell.dll or redshellsdk.dll. Or you can discover them using some sort of firewall to see whether communication is sent to a few specific servers, more specifically redshell.io, api.redshell.io, treasuredata.com, and api.treasuredata.com. You can find guides on how to do it. I will include a link under the video about there are a few guides on a Reddit site where you can figure out how exactly to do this. And man, be sure to do this. And again, if you have any of these games in your computer, I would highly suggest you uninstall them right now. Even though they may be some of your favorite games. But just being tracked as gamers, that's I really don't understand these. Like, did the publishers think this will not get discovered? How? It's just dumbassery of the highest caliber. Obviously this would get discovered eventually. Like, come on, companies. This is just not good business practice. This is not how you build trust with your consumers. I'm really pissed about this. And I think the most scary thing is that few of the games, including, for example, Quake Champions, which I highly suggested everybody download because it's free right now, has this in there. And most willingly so, you cannot discover it by searching for these dynamic libraries, because the software is included as part of the game. That's just terrifying, for fuck's sake. It's just, how? Why would you do this? Well, I understand a reason why you would do it, but can you figure out that if you do something as obviously, blatantly stupid as a company, that it will get discovered and cause you much more harm than it caused you benefit in the end? Especially when it comes to larger companies. Yeah, maybe small indie studios will be able to get away from this, especially if they say, you know what, fuck it, our brand isn't that big, let's just make a new studio. Nobody will care if we make good games. We can just escape it, run away from it. But the major ones that bring out Civilization 6, Conan Exiles, Magic the Gathering, these studios will have their reputation destroyed to such a degree that it will take years for many customers to even consider buying games from you. Think about it. It's just baffling. Completely baffling. Be sure to check out the list of games and the Reddit post, and if some of those games you actually like, be sure to leave a message either through email or social media to the publishers and developers of those games that we as consumers will not stand for this. It's just bad business practice, and we need to show them that if they do these things, we will not buy their games. And if you will considering buying any of these games when the upcoming Steam sale comes, which should be coming today, don't buy these games. Show them. Show them with your wallets. That is the only language these companies will understand. If we don't give them our money, maybe then they will actually be forced to do the right thing. But right now, we need to boycott them. Seriously. I will not be buying a game from single developer during the Steam sale. And I've been thinking about buying some of these games. I've been thinking about buying Civ 6 because I have a friend who really wants to play with me. And I'm a huge fan of the original Civilization. But you know what? Even though it's been removed, I will not be buying it, just to show them that this has actually hurt them. And I highly encourage you to do the same. Seriously. It's not a small thing. This is a big thing for us to be tracked what we do outside of their property. It's our own free time, and they have zero right to be tracking us. And we should be very, very afraid of companies who do this, because it is such a breach of confidence and trust that we had in these companies that it's just unfathomable. Don't let them get away with this. Please. And on a more positive note, well, at least the second piece of news is pretty good. So, American Girl, which you probably won't know much about unless you are a parent, is a doll maker in the United States, which targets on creating dolls that avoid reinforcing negative stereotypes of girls and women. And while that is obviously a very left-leaning company, I don't really care. It's up to them what sort of merchandise they produce, but I like their latest piece of dolls. So right now, we will be getting an American Girl gamer doll, which has its own brand of accessories. It's coming with a fully equipped Xbox gaming set. And according to the American Girl website, the dolls can get ready to play and win in tournaments with friends on their brand new Xbox gaming sets. The set also comes with a console which can protect 10 different gaming scenes, an Xbox One S controller that the dolls can actually hold, a comfy purple fall leather game chair with a built-in speaker inside. And I actually like that because the speaker can be actually connected to some sort of music player and you can play some real music out of it. That's a really, really cool feature. And last of all, you also have these little headphones that go on top of the doll, and they have their own adjustable microphone. You know, it's actually pretty cool shit. I really like it. It's cool, and I do want to see more girls in gaming. And let's be honest, at the moment, the vast majority of gamers are guys. And I know there's that one study that says that about 40% of women also are gamers, but I don't really consider people playing Candy Crush gamers. I think gamer is a specific type of identity at this moment. And like close to zero of those people who are, you know, playing Candy Crush or maybe something else casual on their phones would consider themselves gamers. Maybe some of the children would because they still don't have a computer of their own. Maybe their family doesn't have a console, especially here in Europe where consoles just aren't as big as PCs. And maybe their parents let them play for like an hour a day at the very most on their PC, and they play games on their phones. Those could be considered gamers, but they usually don't play casual games on their phones either. They have their own games that they play, like Clash Royale, games that are somewhat about winning, and not just about, you know, this is just something I do when I'm waiting for the train. I personally have books for that, and I wouldn't consider myself a reader, even though I do read a lot. It's just not my identity. My identity as a gamer. And I really don't think that a large portion of the women would consider themselves gamers. And I don't think the large portion of the guys who play games would consider themselves gamers. They would consider themselves fans of video games, but wouldn't have it as a foundation of their identity. But anything that brings more people towards being gamers is a good thing, and I really don't give a shit whether it's men, women, transgender people, or anything else. As long as the industry grows, that's a positive in my own personal opinion. The doll is rather expensive though. It costs $50, but if you have a young child and it's a girl and you want her to become a gamer, maybe this is a worthy investment. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to the channel. If you're watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to leave a comment and be sure to tune in tomorrow for more gaming news, as we are your source of daily gaming news every single day. See you guys later with more gaming content.